footballing theatre and a fitting stage for the meeting of two of the most distinguished performers in the whole history of European club competition. 70,000 people inside this vast bowl, the Stadium of Light, and there's still room for more. Benfica, 29 times the champions of Portugal, start without the ineligible Paulo Futre. He's cup-tied, but look out for the attacking breaks from midfield of number 7, Vitor Pereira. He loves to support the two foreigners who lead their attack, Sergei Yoran, the Russian-born number 10, and the Brazilian-born number 11, Isaias. The measure of the strength of Juventus is that England skipper David Platt finds himself on the outside. He's simply one foreign star too many. It's a quality lineup from the exciting young keeper Angelo Peruzzi, the German colony represented by the hard-man stopper Jurgen Kohler, and the elegant Andy Muller. And Julio Cesar, one of the three foreigners in this starting 11 for Juventus with the free kick, the Brazilian centre-half. May have been a nudge there by Dino Baggio. Key confrontation in midfield. Baggio versus Vitor Pereira. Not too much space on offer for Benfica as they try to build. Conte just tied it up there. Carrera forward. And Baggio dropping off to receive. First chance he's had to run. Moller ran ahead of him, but it was well policed by Carlos. And now Paulo Sousa, he's the workhorse in midfield of Benfica. Good strong player. And this is a good break on the wide right by Jose Carlos. He can cross a good ball too, and he's done that. And it looked like João Pinto who arrived. An excellent cross whipped in by Jose Carlos. For João Pinto, little fella, but he gets up very well. And he possesses an aerial threat for bigger defenders. Lovely ball. João Pinto the target, and he knew where the goal was, but Peruzzi not forced to save. And Kohler, like so many of the centre-halves in the Italian game, quite happy to take the goal kicks for the goalkeeper. Maybe the goalkeepers don't see it as part of the job. Here's Pereira with one of those little breaks. Yoran, he has clever feet. That's Pereira. Maybe Juve didn't do all the homework. He breaks so well from midfield, and that's a dream start for Benfica's passionate supporters. 12 minutes gone, and the Portuguese home crowd are on their feet, and this is why. Little burst from midfield. He finds space excellently here. Good control. A little bit of invention from Sergei Yoran. And the cover from Juventus wasn't there fast enough. Vitor Pereira scores. And surely exactly what Benfica would have talked about before the game. The vital importance of getting a good start. That was the foul by Veloso. It's given Juventus this position. Baggio, captain of Juventus now. Good ball too. Vialli, oh, magnificent effort out of nothing. Truly international quality from Gianluca Vialli. And the keeper Silvino never even saw it until it was coming back off his crossbar. What a scare for Benfica. Now can they respond? They've got men over here, Yoran and João Pinto arriving in the box at the other end. This was Vialli's effort. He was unmarked, but that was absolutely top class. Out of nothing at all. Brilliant athleticism. And so close to an immediate equaliser. Keeper nowhere. And one would expect one of the teams that the others would wish to avoid in European competition. Good ball from the back. Again, it's Pereira making one of those breaks. And that time Peruzzi really did have to be quick about his work. Little communications problem with the Brazilian centre-half, but one we expect by now. Julio Cesar speaks excellent Italian. Baggio's offside. There's the ball by Helder. It was an excellent ball. Benfica varying it, going from back to front very quickly. Panera's breakout, and with a little more good fortune, that ball could have run the way of Vitor Panera, and he could have been on for an early double against Juventus, instead of the one which divides the sides. Vialli. This is Moreno Torricelli. Corner forward, but he's telegraphed that a bit. Now it's 2-on-2 for a moment. Juran with a chance to run Julio Cesar. Can he find a shot? Yes, he can! And he wasn't far away. It's good stuff from Benfica. Juran looks a real handful. And surely he did enough to earn a corner. I thought that was saved by the keeper. It's 2-on-2 just here for a minute. And Juran may be feeling he's got the legs of Julio Cesar. There seemed a touch by the keeper, Peruzzi, but it's a goal kick. Panera. Another good ball from him. Isaias. They are so sharp around the edge of the box, these Benfica attacking players. Baggio, maybe we'll see more of him in a more withdrawn, creative role now. Bit of space for Torricelli. Julio Cesar. Juventus starting to build with a little more confidence. First time they've really established themselves in the last third of the pitch, Benfica's third. This is clever. Muller just overran it. And now can Benfica break out quickly? Isaias. They caused Juventus problems in the first half, breaking up pace. That may be just a little too quick for Panera, and Julio Cesar just gliding across the ground. Canio. Clearly Juventus trying to get him in the action as much as possible. Baggio. Yes, maybe he will take on more of the role of playmaker. That's a good ball, and that's for Muller, who got there ahead of the keeper. And there may be something, there's a penalty for Juventus. It's been their best spell of the match the last 10 minutes. Silvino is crestfallen, but it was his late challenge on Andy Muller, who broke superbly into the box away from his marker and went down. He was clearly impeded by the keeper. The keeper missed the ball and took the man, and that surely means a penalty. And it's a pressure kick for Gianluca Vialli. But Vialli is one man with a good penalty reputation, and he lives up to that reputation to bring Juventus level. And even more importantly for Juventus, that is the away goal that they would have been talking about in the dressing room. A draw is a good result. A score draw in European football is an excellent result in a UEFA Cup quarter-final, and now Juventus have that possibility. He buried it too. Will Benfica pick up the tempo of this game now? Isaias, he'll lead by example if he can. It's a great ball across the goal, and how is that for making an impact? Vitor Panera with his second. Marvellous riposte, and Eusebio is suitably impressed. That is a marvellous answer from Benfica. They lose one striker. The second striker, Isaias, makes a telling contribution. It's a great ball. Maybe Peruzzi was a little flat-footed, but Panera again right in where it hurts, the midfield player. And Isaias knew he was coming. He looked and found him. That's brilliant football. And it's 2-1 to Benfica. Carlos Sousa. This is good football again. Pacheco providing width. Isaiah's almost arrived in time. Julio Cesar's foot was just a little quicker to the task. Now, will we see Juventus respond? Muller, scorer of their goal, or creator of their goal. Baggio. Vialli, who's been very quiet since the penalty, but you never know with him. Muller! That could so easily have gone in. It was a good chance. It was an excellent chance. Vialli involved. Muller so alone, but so wide with the volley.
Themselves a goal down at home to the holders Ajax in just 3 minutes. The Swede Stefan Petersson flicking home the loose ball from a free kick. But Auxerre hit back quickly. The former Ajax player Frank Verlaat firing his volley through a sea of bodies on 17 minutes. Then the home side got in front. Corentin Martins with a beautiful chip over the wall from a free kick. Again a quick recovery, this time a minute later by Ajax. Marciano Vinck blasting home from close range to square it at 2-2. In the second half now, 7 minutes from the end, Pascal Bayrou bending his corner so much that Menzo could only help the ball on its way into the Ajax net for 3-2. And then in the very last minute of the game, the substitute Christophe Lassandas doing magnificently to set up Daniel Dutuel to strike home and bring the final score to 4-2. The Spanish giants Real Madrid were also involved in the UEFA Cup, hosting Paris Saint-Germain in the Bernabeu. Real have been in sparkling form of late, and it was no surprise when Emilio Butragueño headed home on 31 minutes. Butragueño was involved in Real's next effort just 4 minutes later. He controlled brilliantly to set up the Chilean Ivan Zamorano for a simple tap-in, 2-0. Into the second half, and Paris came back into it. Valdo with the corner, and David Ginola with a glancing header. Buyo in goal, sprawling across the line, but unable to stop it from crossing the line. A priceless away goal for the French. Then, with a minute of injury time played, and with the Paris defence hopelessly stretched, Michel's shot was palmed off the line by Alain Roche, the last line of defence. The referee was left with no choice. It was the inevitable red card for Roche. And that left Michel with the chance to make it 3-1 and establish an invaluable lead to take to Paris in 2 weeks' time. Lama did extremely well to keep out the spot kick, but Michel followed up to bundle it home. 3-1 it finished. Bitter disappointment for Paris Saint-Germain. In the Cup Winners' Cup, the Greek side Olympiacos were at home to Atletico Madrid. They went behind in only 10 minutes, Gabriel Moya scoring with a crisp half volley. A minute before half-time, it was worse for the Greeks. Manuel Alfaro brought down in the box, and the referee awarding the penalty for the Spaniards. The video replay clearly suggested a dive. And as if by way of justice, Atletico's regular penalty taker Luis Garcia could only hit a post. In the second half, a mistake from Abel in the Atletico goal allowed Georgis Vaitsis to go through to score the equaliser on 63 minutes. 1-1 the final score. For Cup, Real Madrid travelled to Paris Saint-Germain and went a goal behind on 35 minutes. Georges Weah heading in from the corner to give the French hope. Now they trailed Madrid 3-2 on aggregate. Into the second half now, and a second for Paris Saint-Germain. David Ginola with a terrific volley, snatching the overall lead on the away goals rule 7 minutes from time. Then on 89 minutes, the Brazilian Valdo was allowed to score as the Real defence backed off. That made it 3-0 on the night and 4-3 on aggregate. But then a dramatic change of fortune. Real's informed striker Ivan Zamorano sliding in to level the score with 94 minutes on the clock. Extra time looked certain, but with another 2 minutes injury time played, Paris Saint-Germain stole an historic victory. Antoine Camboire heading in to clinch Paris a place in the semi-finals. A breathtaking match, and the celebrations continued long into the night. In the Cup Winners' Cup, Spartak Moscow were looking to improve on a 1-0 first leg lead over Feyenoord, and they did just that after only 7 minutes. Valeri Karpin beating the offside trap and finishing coolly. The Hungarian Josef Kiprich levelled it up 7 minutes later, finding the net from an almost impossible angle. The aggregate score now 2-1 to Spartak. The home side increased their lead on 33 minutes, Karpin again tapping in the rebound after a good stop from Eddie De Goey in the Feyenoord goal. Then tempers started to flare. The referee forced to dispense justice in the form of 2 red cards. The first going to the Spartak player, Fedor Cherenkov. And to level it all up, then Ulrich van Gobbel of Feyenoord sent off in the 81st minute. So 10 aside, 6 minutes later, the Russians sealed it. Dmitry Radchenko scoring Spartak's third, beating the keeper with the outside of his foot. 3-1 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. A scoreless first leg gave Steaua Bucharest the advantage at home to Antwerp, and the Romanian commentators were clearly highly delighted by Ili Dimitrescu's early strike. But the celebrations proved just a little premature. 8 minutes from time, the Belgian international Alex Czerniatinski levelling the score for Antwerp with a header. 1-1 on the night. Antwerp through on the narrowest of margins, a single away goal.